Hello folks, Bronco Bob here with Texas Best Used Motorcycles. Here today to show you a really cool, it's kind of a work in progress. It's a little Jeep CJ5 that's had a lot of really excellent modifications done to it. Starting with a fresh set of Truxas 35-inch all-terrain, basically mud terrain tires. It's a spring-over suspension with Wrangler springs. The front end is a Dana 44 from a Wagoneer that's been narrowed. It's been re-geared and has ARB air lockers. And you'll notice the steering is up high. It's power steering and it's also RAM assist. It's the PSC RAM assist steering. But it gets it up out of the way so you don't bend it on the trails or on the rocks. The front bumper is very heavy duty and it incorporates a shackle reversal system. It's got a winch with synthetic rope. And this Jeep was basically built in Colorado. The motor was overhauled up there and we've got the complete build sheet. It's a Dauntless v-6. It's fuel injected, electronic ignition, and we have the specs on the bore, the pistons. They even balanced the motor. They really did a really great job. But I've got amazing paperwork on the rebuild, which I normally don't have. It runs cool. It's got Navajo power disc brakes, all four wheels. And that master cylinder is either Cadillac or Corvette. The brakes are amazing. They really work good. The body is in decent shape. It's got a few dings and scratches. It's been painted around here and there a few times, so you can see some flaws in the paint. But overall it's good. It's got some nice Mickey Thompson aluminum wheels, Rancho 5000 shocks, got a traction bar on the back, heavy duty high clearance bumper on the rear. It's got greasable shackles. And again, it's a spring over. The fuel tank was replaced. It's been completely undercoated with Rhino liner, kind of the bed liner material. It's got a best top, soft top. It's got headers and mufflers that exit out the side, so it keeps things out of harm's way. The floorboards inside have also been coated with kind of the bed liner material. It's got a granny 4-speed transmission. So it's a 4-to-1 fourth gear and a very low first gear. That's your buttons for the ARB air lockers front and rear, and the ARB compressor control button. Showing 63,000 miles, but the motor doesn't have that many miles on it. It's got really nice Mastercraft suspension seats, front and rear. It still needs to have some seat belts installed, whether they be harness style or regular lap belts. And as I said, it's kind of a work in progress. It still needs a few little things done to it. The windshield folds down. The dash is in good shape. It's really a solid Jeep. But the big story are the axles, the Dana 44's, and the ARB air lockers. But it's painted kind of a nice red, kind of like a Porsche Guards red. The steering is all done, four-wheel disc brakes. A lot of the dirty work is done. Now you just got to do a few little things to make it yours. The transfer case is a Dana 20, I believe. It might be a Dana 300. It does have a few little drips, like most older four-wheel drives, coming from the transfer case. The drive shaft's been rebuilt by Drivetrain Industries in Grand Junction, Colorado. All looks real good under here. It's a very solid body, very solid frame. You can see the body mounts are all fresh and good. They've coated the frame. I mean, to make a good street trail rig, really a great Colorado Jeep. Let's start it up and I'll let you hear it. The Dauntless V6 is an odd fire V6. It has a very unique sound, and I think a very good sound. But it's all cleanly done. There's the data tag, Toledo, Ohio, Jeep Corporation. The Navajo brakes. The brakes are just short of amazing. They even coated under the hood to give it a little bit more sound deadening and insulation. And the radiator's right out there in the open, where it's got plenty of air around it to run nice and cool. The wiring's all clean, it's in looms, it's got connectors, and whoever did the wiring did a very, very nice job. Yeah, let's start her up. I'm gonna make sure it's in neutral, because as low geared as it is, could just kind of crawl away. It does have a stereo that probably needs a fuse or something. It won't come on. Davis Unified Ignition System electronic. Saginaw power steering pump. It's a hydraulic clutch. Very, very beefy front bumper, all welded. Still has the Colorado tags on it. The steering linkage is all 3/4 and 1 ton truck stuff. So it's very, very heavy duty. And again, it's up high, so it's out of the way. But this is just a good little trail Jeep. And you can drive it on the street as well. The tires, as I mentioned, are brand new. The ones that were on it were kind of cracked and old, so we replaced them. You can see that Dana 44 rear end, traction bar, the rear disc brakes. Looks like it's got a pigtail to pull a small trailer. I love the old Jeeps because they actually have a tailgate that folds down. The soft top's in good shape. It's not ripped or torn. The glass or the plastic windows have some scratches from the trails. In fact, we can put the hood down. We'll take it for a little spin. Bear with me just a second. Really kind of a two-handed operation. But I mean, the paint overall looks nice, but it's certainly not show quality, and it's certainly not without flaws. It's a 5 on 5.5 bolt pattern. There's your ARB switch, rear locker, front locker. You can see the oil pressure is nice. It's idling at 60 psi. Fuel gauge works. And I've still got it in high range, but first gear is, I just let the clutch out. I didn't even give it any gas. If I put it low range, it's really low. Just kind of crawls. But the spring over Wrangler suspension allows it to articulate pretty well. We'll drive it back across the street over to the shop. Speedometer works. Temperature gauge works. It's over on the cool side. This is one of these trannies you can actually start out in second gear. This first gear is so low. Whoop. Can't put it in reverse. It needs a rear view mirror. Just needs a few little things to kind of finish it up, but you can kind of do it your way. We'll pull it back here in the shop. Look at it one more time. I love how that Dauntless V6 runs. I love the sound. The Oddfire V6 has a sound of its own. Nice little red Jeep CJ5. Just needs a new home. Lots of good upgrades. And the brakes are really amazing. But have a great day. I'm Bronco Bob wishing you happy trails.